But nevertheless, it was time, Brian, for the main event of the evening for the world heavy, well, not even the world heavy, the WWE title, which is bigger than the world title. Randy Orton in his own hometown of St. Louis, Missouri, challenging for the title against 17-time champion John Cena, who we can't see anymore after another, 25 dates now, or is it 24? And we knew going into this, just because everybody's smart in the whole world, that Randy wasn't going to win it this quick because they've got other fish to fry while this is going on. So we knew Orton, there was going to be no title change, and Orton was not going to win. But at least it's a pay-per-view worthy main event against two of the biggest names of the past 25 years. And they, it is somewhat of a box office attraction, so I can see why they did it. And I wish it was like the old days where you thought that somebody might win at any point, but since we are all smart, we knew that wasn't going to happen. But there was a few things I'm wondering. And one of them is, God damn it, I'm thinking John Cena could have gotten a tan for this match, but it gets him more heat as a heel being that pale, doesn't it?
Well, let me stop you there. And obviously you're not knowledgeable about this, and I just learned about it yesterday. There was an article in maybe People or something. John Cena battled skin cancer.
Oh, geez.
Which is why he's not tanning anymore.
Well, what about the spray-on shit? Let poison your kidneys or something?
Oh, I don't know.
Because, I mean, I'm not like the AEW spray guy where you look, phony, or like Godfrey Cambridge, but I'm talking like a professional job where he might have just a little color to him.
Have you seen what Heyman looks like?
Have
you seen what Heyman looks like? I don't know if there is a professional out there who could do that job right.
But now look what the canvas is to work with.
Even if Heyman was a slim, slight, good-looking man, it wouldn't matter. It's the paint job I'm talking about.
Well, no, see, they didn't bring enough to cover his whole gigantic bucket-sized head, so they had to dilute some of it with iodine.
I didn't know where you were going to go, and now I know where you're going.
Yeah.
With iodine, okay.
Anyway, so the WWE history has John Cena at 17 titles, Flair at 16, and Orton and Triple H tied at 14. And that's where we stand on that scoreboard. And I've got to admit, this was bittersweet for me because they were having a wrestling match. I mean, one of the first spots they did was that Cena, the heel, poked Orton in the eye. And then they did a spot which paid off with Orton poking Cena in the eye, which got a huge pop. Rip Rogers would be proud. That's wrestling. And we're talking about guys that just have nearly paralyzed themselves. And these guys are getting a big pop in the main event of a fucking sold out building by poking each other in the eyes. But that's wrestling. And they did headlocks and drop downs and leapfrogs and shoulder tackles. And I said, it's great to see that there's a wrestling match happening again after all the stuff we have to watch, but it's a shame that the only guys that still have wrestling matches are between 45 and 50 years old minimum. And I'm thinking, what's going to happen when these guys are gone and we can't see John already, and nobody will be able to have a goddamn professional wrestling match because they're too worried about being in the next year's Olympics on the gymnastics team. Cena took a walk and Orton chased him and brought him back, and the fans got up for that. Orton gave Cena the 20 punches in the corner. The fans counted for it. I thought he was going to break out into the full Garvin stomp, which one of the announcers even called, was it Wade Barrett? But he didn't go all the way around him. But the fans were batshit with Orton doing very little because they built it properly. And it's driving me crazy that Cena won't stop talking because he is no ventriloquist. He ain't even fucking Paul Winchell. You can see Paul Winchell's lips flapping a mile away. And I think it's also kind of sad that Cena was trying, but Orton's work is way ahead still. It's faster, it's sharper, it's crisper. And, John was trying to keep up with him in that respect. But again, the draping DDT, when he hit that, the fans went crazy for Randy. And then they started doing the big yay boo exchange where they got the let's go Cena and Cena sucks chant out of the people. And then Orton hit the RKO out of nowhere. Both of them were down. They just started building these things into the 2 counts, or either the attitude adjustment or the RKO. And then finally, Orton went for an RKO and Cena shoved him into the referee. Cena hit the attitude adjustment, but there was no referee. So Cena went and got the belt. And again, this is where the WWF takes over in them. Instead of the referee's down, I have a very limited amount of time to cheat. I need to rush and get away with this. Then time just stops. I already know the referee's going to lay down until I instruct him otherwise. I'm going to going to get the belt. It's the milk hour. And he gets the belt and comes in, but Orton RKO's him out of nowhere. And then suddenly the referee's up and he gets a 2 count. Oh, shit. And then Orton clears off the desk at ringside, but Cena knocks him into the referee again and posts Orton, and Orton slips the AA again, and AA's Cena on the desk. And it kind of, boom. And then Orton pulls a table out and sets it up. And I wrote, even them. So disappointing. And he AA'd John through the table at ringside. And the referee had been down for minutes at this point. But the fans are chanting, this is awesome. So it's all showbiz these days. And Randy hit the RKO and covered him, and a second referee came in and got a 2 count. And then Cena went to hit Orton with the belt, but Orton ducked and Cena nailed the referee, the second referee. And then Orton hit the RKO and covered him. Why? He just saw the referee go down. So the fans can count to 10. And then all the agents and Nick Aldis come into the ring and check on the referee. We're 25 minutes into this fucking thing, right? And Orton gets up and he's pissed off that they're checking on the referee. So to show his pissed offness, and also because he's about to get fucked, so he's got to get something out of this, he RKO'd Aldis and all the agents in a row, like 5 or 6 of them. Boom, boom, boom. And the people love that. And then Orton goes back to Cena and he goes to punt him. But here comes R-Truth, who, as we know, has long been a John Cena supporter. And he's like, oh, no, don't kick poor old John Cena. And Orton RKO's R-Truth, who rolls out. And then Cena hits Orton in the nuts and then hits him with the belt, and then covered him. And the first referee, who had been down for somewhere around a day and a half at that point, rolled in and counted 1, 2, 3. I thought they had a good match. I thought that was overcomplicated at the end, and that was just stupid with R-Truth, but they apparently want to get some kind of goddamn TV match out of this. Your thoughts, Brian? I like both these guys, and I think Orton's work is still incredible. John's slowed down a bit, but the finish was just cluttered up real bad to me. They were trying to give everybody a fucking out.
The finish was cluttered up, and it went a while. That all took a long time to go, and you kind of said it without saying it. You say the WWE in them, or whatever you said, the WWE comes out. This felt like Vince shit from 10 years ago. That felt out of place.
Yeah.
Just too much. And, I know Cena's not 35 years old and he's not used to wrestling a regular schedule or even a semi-regular schedule for a while. You're not expecting him to go out there and have incredible, highly physical matches. We're probably going to get a lot of this kind of stuff around his matches to make them work, but I don't know. It was kind of a deflating ending to the show, just the way the ending went down, how long it took, and you knew Randy wasn't going to win, but I don't know.
There's no sense of urgency anymore when anybody's trying to cheat and get away with something. And that makes the fans not, when you've got time in your mind, when they're constantly milking, oh, the guy's got the belt and he's drawn back and he's waiting for the guy to stand up for some reason. I want to beat this guy, so he's down now, but I'll wait till he stands up and knocks him down again. But it just, everything takes so long that, yes, they're teaching that, and there is some element of truth to it. You've got to milk it. You can't just run off and leave people or not make something picturesque to where that they see it and understand what happened in a big building. They may have missed it, but you've also got to keep moving from one thing to another, because if people have too long to think about what they're looking at, a lot of them are going to come up with the right idea. Sometimes it's either he's going to hit him or he's going to duck, one of those two things. The more time they have to think about it and come up with their own conclusion, the less they pop when they turn out to be wrong or right, because they knew it was going to happen. Some of the biggest pops in finishes like that come when shit's happening, bing, 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 and it's shit you don't expect. Oh, shit, whoo. That's why I used to teach in OVW especially, that each finish, when we're calling something for everyone to do, because however many people are involved in the match, including referees, managers, and anybody running in, you have to account for them when you give the finish. When you lay it out beforehand, everybody has to have something to do and a place to be to make it all come together. But the important thing is everybody doesn't do their shit all at the same time. I used to tell them, okay, spotlight is on you two people to do this, boom. But once that happens, that's when you two take over, because boom, you're going to do that. And that's when the referee and the manager are going to do this. And the spotlight goes boom, 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 because you don't want it all to happen at the same time. People are miss it, but you don't want it to take for fucking ever like this is, where everybody's already calling it ahead of time. There needs to be a happy medium. Anyway.
Well, that was the main event, Randy Orton versus John Cena, and just recently WWE uploaded to the Vault channel them against each other in OVW. We may have to do a watch along of that. Everyone's begging for one. One that you actually critiqued in the past. Just not on camera or on audio.
Yes.
But Jim, John Cena, Randy Orton, one thing that they learned how to do in OVW, and it has helped them well throughout their career, is learn to sell. But not everyone knows how to sell, and in fact, mom and pop businessman all throughout the United States and beyond. But let's focus on
mom and pop businessman?
That's right. It's a new era, and Main Street is a whole new thing. But the point is, everyone needs an online presence for their store. Everyone needs to sell. And here's the man to sell you on everything I just set him up for, Mr. Jim Cornette.
I don't know what you're talking about now, Brian, but I'll tell you what we were talking about earlier was people that want to be things that they're not, or things that they're not capable of being. Like Jelly Nutella wants to be a pro wrestler. Well, sometimes when you're a kid, you want to be an astronaut, or you want to be a princess, or you want to be the president of the United States. I guess the bar is fairly low there these days. But when you grow up, Brian, as they used to say, you put away the childish things and you focus more on realistic goals. Instead of being a princess or a double knot spy, instead of going into outer space or owning your own castle, you want to own your own business. You want to run your own little empire and make money, make profit, be a capitalist so that you can provide for your family and potentially pay child support later on from the Wife leaves you and takes the little cretins.
Well, let's just
but you still on the hook for it.
Let's focus on the good times for this
for the good times. But when you've got your own business, it's a dream that lots of people share. But you know what you're going to need, Brian? You're going to need a website. You're going to need a payment system. You're going to need a logo. You're going to need a way to advertise to new customers. It can be overwhelming. It can be confusing. But thankfully, you have friends. You have the people at Shopify. At Shopify, they're going to sit down on your side and they're going to give you that right in the rib. Say, hey, we can make you some money, kid. You just listen to us. And you're going to be farting through silk. And what if you can't design a website? Shopify's got you from the get-go. Why, they will make you a website that's so delicious you will slap your mother. And what if you need a hand?
Metaphorically speaking.
Well, yes. And what if you can slap her forehand or backhand, whatever kind of. What if you need a hand with everyday tasks? Everyday tasks speaking English. And enhancing product images and writing product descriptions. Hey, that thing sucks. Stuff like that. Or generating discount codes. What about if people haven't heard about your brand, Brian? You might say, how do I get the word out there? Well, Shopify helps with easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. You just give them your entire address book, and they will go through it. And they will call everybody you know on the phone, they will say, hey, Joe over here is in business, and if you know what's good for you, you're going to support him. Elsewise, we're going to call you every goddamn day.
Shopify will not be making any phone calls. You won't be getting any phone bills for calls made on your behalf. Shopify will be there so that you can put your store online and sell your products without any problems or any people causing problems every time they speak about this wonderful product.
Yes, no, there won't be any phone bills. They don't charge for long distance anymore, Brian, but there's the Shopify phone bank team will be harassing your customers daily until they spend money.
No, they won't. No, there will be no harassment on behalf of the fine people at Shopify or on the behalf of mom and pop businessmen all across America.
Yeah, and speaking of mom and pop businessman, Shopify has the birth records, and they know who everybody's mother is and everybody's father is.
No, they do not. Where did hell did you pull that out of? No, they don't.
Well, but because that's the way that they can go to mom and pop with all these products that you make, that you sell, that they want to help you sell, and they can go to mom and pop and they say, we know where your kids are. So you just buy this stuff, and then...
Mom and pop have nothing to worry about. The kids are safe, and so
as a matter of fact, the FBI got a phone call on tape. The only sound they could determine was a screaming child, but nevertheless,
never the truth. None of that was true, ladies and gentlemen. What we want to tell you about is the truth, which is that Shopify is there for you. You have your products. You need to sell them. You need them in the biggest online resource and storefront, and here's Jim Cornette.
Yes, and you can turn your dreams into reality and give yourself the best shot at success with Shopify by signing up for your $1 a month trial period and start selling today at shopify.com/JCE. Shopify.com/JCE, a $1 a month trial period, where you will be put on trial and you will be cross-examined. And if they determine
that's not how
that you
works.
are a quality person that can join their team, then they will make you money. But just watch it. Don't admit to certain things. And the age of consent is 17.
This has nothing to do with Shopify. But once again, Shopify is there for you. Shopify.
$1 a month. How much cheaper can it be?
It's like Shopify magic. But one more time, Jim, how can the listeners... use what we use, because they power our store, ArcadiaVanguard.com, and the fine Drive-Thru t-shirts.
Yes, they will design your website. They'll market your products. They'll write descriptions. They'll take your money, and they'll take all of the money.
No, they don't.
And then they'll give it to people.
They will take their share when the time is right.
They will take the money they'll take your money, $1 a month, and then they'll take the money from the other people they're selling stuff to, and then some of it will come back to you.
They will do this all
for $1 a month.
once again, we use them for us.
How do you know what the exact amount is? If they round off to the closest dollar, I don't think anybody's going to be upset.
Round off. If this keeps going, I'm going to drink some Roundup. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we're trying to let you know the store is there for you.
Yes. $1 a month trial period. They'll show you all this great stuff. They'll show you all their shit for only $1. That's why they wear raincoats. Shopify.com/JCE.